It's the Daily Dog.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. I am thankful that you are hanging out with me today because, y'all, we got a good one today. It is a weird Wednesday and we are going back to the music of Frank Zappa today. There have been many people that have been asking me to do this particular piece today, and today is the day. We're looking at Peaches on Regalia. This is something that I've had on the list for a while, and I have just recently got my hands on a chart of this one. So we're going to be looking at the original studio recording of this, and I think I've got a couple other versions of this that we're going to look at as well. It's a relatively short piece, and we have some musical notation that we can follow along and try to make sense of what Frank is doing. So Frank did write this, Peaches on Regalia. It is called an instrumental jazz fusion piece. It is from his album Hot Rats, his second studio album that was released all the way back in 1969. The piece was often performed throughout Frank's career, and his son Dweezil is even including it in a lot of his sets as well. Back in the day, it was a pretty advanced recording technique for the time period. They made use of a custom recording machine that allowed them to do more overdubs and more layering than they normally might be able to do. So with the very few instrumentalists on this recording, makes them sound like a large ensemble. We've got Frank Zappa on guitar and something called the octave bass. I'm not sure what that is. But y'all can help me out on that, I'm sure. Frank's also listed as playing a little bit of percussion. Ian Underwood is on the keyboards and a whole bunch of woodwinds. And Shuggy Otis is on the bass, and Ron Celico is on the drums on this particular recording. So first, we're going to look at the original studio recording, y'all. And I've got the chart up, so we're going to have a little bit of fun. Here is the studio recording of Peaches on Regalia by Frank Zappa. Here we go. See the tremolos? It's just a 2/5 turnaround if we are in A. Little mixture. Cool, that repeats up here. Cool. Oh, this looks rad. Whoa! Okay, where are they now? Whoa! Okay, there is so much. Hang on, y'all. There is a lot going on. How far are we into this? 1 minute and 10 seconds. There's a lot going on. Whoa. Okay, so what all do we have here? I'm going to go back to the beginning. He's got the tablature for the guitarists, and they've also got some just regular notation of what the melody stuff is doing. So here at the beginning, it says play 4 times, and that's what they did. They had a drum fill in 4. And then once they get down here, I want to take a quicker or a more in-depth look at this little section. Take a look at letter C here, y'all. The rhythm, if we're in 4, 2, 3, is da 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 ba 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 ba. And then it does the exact same thing again. Da 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 da. Same rhythm. So these 2 measures, and then these 2 measures, and then these 2 measures all kind of flow together. And they sound like a sequence. We've got B minor going down by a step to an A major 7th chord. And then as this rolls up, you've got the E and the G sharp there. By the time they get all the way up here, it's the same E and G sharp as they had down here. And it's the 5th and the major 7th of that A chord. And that E and that G sharp are going to resolve up by a half step to the F and the A natural. This 8 VA means that they're playing it an octave higher than where it's notated. So these guys would actually be moving up by a half step to this F and A of the D minor chord. And that is just a minor third higher than they were here. So if we start on B and go down by a step to A, and then do the exact same pattern up a minor third, you've got a minor chord on D and then down to a major seventh on C. That makes sense. And then we even end up with the fifth and the major seventh of that C chord the exact same way that we ended up with the E and the G sharp of this A chord, the fifth and the seventh. So he's using the same patterns just over different roots of chords. So D minor goes down to C, that would make sense. And then these guys would go up by half step to the F minor chord, which is a minor third above the D. So it's going to be an ascending minor third sequential pattern, because these two measures then get repeated up a minor third, and then those two measures get repeated up a minor third. And then we ended up, the F goes down to the E flat, which makes sense. And then this is where he breaks it with this D flat chord and all of this fun stuff through there. I almost want to back it up and start pretty much over again, y'all. Here we go. And a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So this A section is just kind of the main theme. Looks like really cool piano. And then they get to letter B here. Then if we're in A, it's flat 3 to 4, back to 1. And again, it's Frank, so he's adding all of these ninths or seconds in these voicings. Now listen to this. Here we go. Ready? And down to A. The same thing. Then the same thing. And they're going to break the pattern. Then B is going to set up and move to E. It's holding true. That they're following exactly what he wrote. Whoa! So G is set up as dominant, but it doesn't go there. This is so cool. Some basic chords, F, C's, and B flats. Whoa. Then B flat is a half step higher than where they go to A. Listen to that. 2, 3, 4. Da, 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 da. Back to the original theme. Listen to the toms. Over a pedal. So all of this, when it comes back all over a bass note that doesn't leave. Rhythmically interesting. It's got common practice sounds, but used in a completely new and inventive way. Gives it a really interesting flair and sound. And they're going to fade out, looks like. it's funny. It's like it makes complete sense to me as a piece. So the fact that we're including it on a Weird Wednesday seems a little bit weird, right? Because we're like, hey, that's not weird. That's common practice sounds. But the thing that makes it weird for me is based on all of the training that I've had and on the normal way that functional tonality works. He's turning it on its ear a little bit and just using sounds that we're used to hearing in progressions and sequences that are a little bit fresh and new to us. You'll see a lot of these have sevenths. A lot of them will say sus2, like if you see C sus2 and D sus2, and then they add 9. The 2 and the 9 are just an octave difference, right? So as I recall, one of the things that Frank likes to do is take a basic triad, which has a root and a third and a fifth, and take the third out and then move the third down by step to a second. So you're getting either an added second or a ninth, depending on how the chord is voiced. Really, really cool. I also found, y'all, I want to listen to it again, but a different version of it. This is a version for orchestra. And when I saw that, I'm like, I need to listen to this as well. So this is the Talachova Kormoni Philharmonie back in 2012. I need to hear what this sounds like. Okay, Vintage Rock Forum. Ah, they cut in on them. Dinner party. Looks like. Woo! That's neat. Lead trumpet. Great little section for woodwinds to play. Those are oboes that you're seeing. Flutes in the foreground. Totally works. It works great for a little chamber orchestra. The thing that's the odd person out is the trap set. Everything else that I'm hearing and watching are just fine and lovely and normal, right? The odd thing is the trap set. It's arranged by Marko Ivanovic, who is also the person conducting. And I think it's a wonderful orchestration of this. Sounds great, sounds lively, and all the instruments are doing their thing. Cool. Little bassoons. Kind of an infectious piece, isn't it? It makes me think that this would be a great marching band piece. Got some horn in there. Lovely playing. Harder than it looks. And he's passing the melody back and forth to different instruments of the orchestra. We're just having a good old time. I hope y'all are as well. Almost sounds like it could be a movie theme, or like a television theme. You know? Oh, and they slow down for the ending instead of the fade out. That makes sense. Well, hang on with me just a minute, y'all. Yeah, well done. Well done. I also read that Dweezil, Frank's son, who is a wonderful performer in his own right, has included this song in a lot of the music that he has played live. There was a cover version that Dweezil did of this that won a Grammy for Best Rock Instrumental Performance back in 2009. And I went looking for that performance, and I'm not sure if I found the right one, but I did find one that has Steve Vai playing with Dweezil, and that's the one that I want to finish out with today. So here's a little bit of a different version of the same song, y'all, with Dweezil's band. Here this goes. Starts with the fill. We're in the same key. There's Steve. I'm not sure who the other players in this are, though. They're doing tremolos to give that sound. And now you get the lead on the guitar and marimba and guitar. Everybody's playing the theme. It's a tricky little rhythm, a quintuplet into a triplet in that little bar. This works because of the sequence. Then they break it. It's almost like it has a little bit of an Asian influence to me in this lick. Great bass playing. I mean, it's the third time in a row that I'm listening to it, and I'm not even tired of it. It's just got a lot of personality. She's grooving. So it's like 1, 5, 4, but it's flat 2, 2 there. When they change keys again. A great theme. I almost have it memorized by now. That was cool. At least the form of it. Not all the notes, for sure. Good on you, Dweezil. I mean, this band is as tight as I have heard Frank's band being. And they were going to go into something different. Awesome stuff. Well, there you go, my friends. We have regaled at least a few peaches today. Peaches on Regalia by Frank Zappa. I am really happy to have had this little chart to help us along with today. Thanks to Peter for helping me out with that one. Every time I come back to Frank Zappa, it's almost like meeting a long lost friend who has a really, really singular personality that always seems to make you feel like you're having a good time, or that you kind of let your hair down a little bit and just enjoy yourself. And it's a real gift in his music to be able to help us out with that. Wonderful stuff. Well, I don't know how weird it was, but I have enjoyed this Weird Wednesday. Frank Zappa's Peaches on Regalia, 3 different ways. I hope that y'all had fun. I surely did. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and we will see you next time on another edition of The Daily Doug.